Rich podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the How to Be Rich podcast, rich in health, wealth, and everything else. My name is Dason Thomas. I'm here with my co-host, Walter Trutna, and our special guest today is the Financial Wolf. Will, how you doing today?
Thanks for having me on, man. I think I was on one of your first episodes ever.
You were on the first episode ever. So,
really? So
yeah.
I'm excited to come back. I've noticed some definite improvements in the podcast, so I'm happy to see you stuck with it, and I'm happy to be on here, guys. It's going to be a good episode.
Good to have you, man. Yes, sir.
Thank you for coming on, dude. I'm excited to have you back on because, yeah, you were the first ever guest, and now the quality is going to be way better, and, yeah, we can dive right into it. So, you are a professional YouTuber, and do you do that full time?
Yeah, so YouTube has been my full-time thing since I graduated high school.
Okay. What would you say is your niche in the YouTube industry?
So I'd say definitely in the financial space of things, and it's mostly focused on making money, different side hustles. I've pretty much been traveling around the country like the last year, just like, meeting up with like people like yourself who, have different side hustles, filming about them, and just like taking things from them to like, to help other people get into ways of making money. And then I also just like do my own videos where I test out different ways of making money.
Yeah, for sure. Out of all the side hustles that you've filmed and been a part of, which one do you think is the best that you've filmed so far?
I get asked this a lot, but I think my answer has changed like every single time I get asked. It's usually just what I think is the coolest and what I'm most interested in. Right now, I've been really into Turo, renting cars out. So
Sure.
I have 2 of my own cars that I rent out on there right now.
Okay. Can you give us a breakdown of like what those do?
What those make and how much I spent. So I've got one Honda CR-V. Spent $11,000 on it. That car in revenue brings in about $1,200 a month. Profit on that, insurance is $100.
Okay.
Warranty is $100, and that's if anything goes wrong. Besides like brake, oil change, it's covered. So that brings me down to $1,000. There's a couple other expenses that I might be forgetting. So conservatively, that car makes $800 a month.
Sure.
And then I have a Honda HR-V. I spent a little more on that car since it's literally like almost brand new. I spent like $25,000 on it.
Wow.
And that car is probably making similar. It's probably making like $1,300 a month just because, but that car is going to last a lot longer than the previous one. And that one's also profiting $800-900 a month.
Gotcha. So does that change month to month at all, or is it pretty consistent throughout?
I mean, obviously there's busy months and slow months. Like right now is actually the slower season. Like I would say Thanksgiving's obviously busy. Cars are 100% booked.
Right.
Christmas is obviously busy, but especially between like Thanksgiving and Christmas, I notice a slowdown since there's less people traveling.
Sure.
But I mean, the cars are pretty much always gone though. It's kind of funny. Like I see them maybe, for one day and then they're back out on a week trip. So for the most part, they're gone most of the time.
Did you take out a loan to buy these vehicles, or did you do it all cash?
I did buy them cash. I know that's like probably not the financially smartest thing to do, but the reason I did, I mean, obviously if you can buy them cash, like nothing wrong with it.
Sure,
but, the reason I didn't get a loan is because I was actually trying to get a loan on the second car I bought, but they offered me an 11% interest rate. And
Interesting.
I'm like, bro, come on, like I'm not taking that.
Yeah. I mean, okay. Like, would you recommend someone take out a loan to buy a car? Because typically, like, my stance has always been, like, never take out a loan on a depreciating asset. And cars, they lose, if you buy brand new, like, 30% the moment you drive it off the lot.
Yeah. The only reason I'd say maybe get a loan or consider it is because with Turo, you're actually turning it into an asset. It's depreciating, yes, but it's a cash flowing asset. Like, You're going to be making money, and the car is going to get paid off by the cash flow you make renting it out.
But what are like the difficulties with that? Like, have you not had like a car like break down or some shit and like had an expensive fix or something like that?
Yeah, the first Turo car I ever bought, that's actually why I have the warranty now. But the first Turo car I ever bought, I actually got rid of it. I think I had it at the time I was coming out to visit you. It was a 2013 Ford Fiesta. And this is a piece of garbage car. I didn't know anything about cars when I bought my first one. And it had a bunch of issues. I think within the first 2 days I bought the car, the radiator blew. The drive belt was severely cracked. Bunch of other things. And I ended up having to spend $1,400 to repair it right after I bought that car. Fast forward, I also needed to get a new catalytic converter on it. That was another like $600. A bunch of repairs came up on that car. The struts were leaking. So many issues. But what I've kind of realized is you want to buy reliable brands like Honda, Toyota. You're going to spend a little bit more money. and then you also slap a warranty on it, and the most you're going to have to do is brakes and oil change. And also I've learned to kind of network with mechanics to a point where I can get good deals if something does come about.
Gotcha.
Because like going to like a Honda shop or a dealer to fix a repair is a lot more expensive than finding someone on Craigslist.
Right. Where are like the prime locations for like Turo cars? Like, are there like certain states that are better, certain cities that are better than others?
I would say any big city. So like Minneapolis, where we're at right now, great spot for Turo.
Really?
Yeah, it's a big city. There's always people coming in and out. There's people trying to rent vehicles. Obviously, tourist destinations like Florida, Austin was great. Los Angeles is good. But I'm actually moving to Chicago. I'm actually in the process of moving right now, and I'm planning to do Turo there. So we'll see how it is in the new market. But I would say pretty much any big city has demand for cars. Everyone needs a car.
Chicago. Why are you moving to Chirac?
Because you're from Texas, right?
I'm not from Texas.
Okay.
I'm actually from Wisconsin.
Sure.
So my family lives there. So Chicago's maybe 45 minutes to an hour from where they're located. And I was living in Austin. I liked it. There's a lot of YouTubers there, a lot of like other business people, so it was good. But I kind of realized that I'm traveling a lot for videos as it is. So it's like I was traveling, going back to my house in Austin, and then also having to travel to visit my parents and family.
Gotcha.
And I think just having my home base like a little closer to family, and I can travel wherever I want, is just a better situation. Like, I'd prefer it.
Sure, yeah. But back to Turo. So I'm pretty sure you made a video a while ago talking about how you got equity in like a Turo company. What's the company called? Fleet?
Yeah, so it's called Fleet Brothers is our
Fleet Brothers.
YouTube channel, but the company is actually called Arslan Fleet. So the rental side of things is Arslan Fleet.
Gotcha. Can you break down like how that deal went about, and like how'd you get in contact with them, and like how much equity you got and stuff like that?
For sure. So around the time I bought my first Turo car, and it had a lot of issues, I was making videos about it. The people who own the business, Chris and Aaron, reached out to me via email, and they're like, "Hey, we actually saw your Turo videos. We think it's awesome. We started our own business where we're renting out cars. We're up to 10 vehicles now." They hit me up, and they're like, "Hey, we'd love to like help you out and maybe do some promotion together." They were trying to like maybe sponsor a video. And I was like, "Okay." I hop on a Zoom call with them. They're telling me a little bit about how they're renting cars on Turo. And I ended up saying, "Hey, what if I came out to Denver and did a video with you guys?" And he was like, "All right, yeah, that would be cool." So I fly out to Denver. I do a video with them, and pretty quickly we kind of determined that, hey, what if I did promotion for you guys and I did video content to help you get clients? Because how their business works is they have investors who buy a Turo car,
Sure.
and then they manage the car for them. So how you guys were doing like the hosting,
Sure.
we're hosting Turo cars.
Gotcha.
Because a lot of people want to invest into it, but they don't want to clean the cars between trips, manage damage claims. We do all of that. But we have, people invest, and it's a 70-30 split. Or they get 70, we get 30% for management.
So it's
Gotcha.
almost like property management just for Turo car vehicles as an asset, right?
Yeah.
So, wow, that's interesting.
So after I did that first video, it immediately killed it. I think we probably got like 60, 70 meetings booked. And we've just been running it ever since. And since I came on board, we went from doing, 5,000-6,000 a month to, I think last month we did like 40,000 in revenue.
Awesome.
We haven't taken a profit yet. I haven't made a single dollar from it yet, but it's definitely been, the business side of things has been very solid.
Yeah, for sure. That's interesting. So going back to YouTube, obviously you do that full time and you've been doing that since high school, right? What have you changed about your YouTube style, and what have you seen the platform change? And then what do you see in the future in terms of growth on that channel, and what do you plan to do?
For sure. So, first of all, since I first started YouTube, I've definitely focused a lot on increasing production quality. I think when my videos first started doing pretty good, I was editing on like a horrible software. I think it was called Movavi, like a terrible, terrible software.
Movavi?
Yeah, literally like a free software you can download on like a desktop PC. And my quality wasn't great. And then over time, I just slowly improved. I noticed YouTube is based on two things. Like a video doing well, a long form piece of content doing well is based on click-through rate, how often people click on your video when they see the thumbnail, and then watch time. This is the most important metric. Once people click on your video, what % of the video are they actually watching? Are they clicking off in the first 10 seconds, or are they watching, 7-8 minutes into the video?
Gotcha.
So I learned, cut to the point in your videos, tell people what they want or came to the video for, and leave minimal fluff. So just optimizing for retention. And I think going forward for YouTube as a platform, I think it's going to become even more that way, because short form content in a lot of ways is taking over. Like TikTok, YouTube Shorts has become a major thing. So I think if you want to stay alive as a content creator, you need to learn to tell your story in a fast-paced, engaging way that gives people dopamine, pretty much.
Sure,
100%.
But my goal is to still provide a lot of value, but obviously keeping those things in mind to achieve videos that hit over 100,000 views, because that's my goal with every upload. Like, I'm not going to make the video unless I think it can get 100,000 views.
Gotcha.
Yeah, that's kind of my thought process.
Would you do you see yourself doing being a YouTuber forever?
That's a tough question. My parents always used to say that. They're like, well, you should go to college because this YouTube thing, you're only going to do it for a few years. You don't know how long it's going to last. I don't know. I really enjoy it. I've been doing it for 4.5 years now.
Wow.
And I don't see that ending anytime soon. I've been doing it successfully probably this is my 3rd year doing it, pretty much making full-time money from it. Yeah. And it's pretty much only gone up since I started. So it's I think you can have a 10, 20-year career on YouTube. I really think so. Obviously, you got to be prepared for that maybe not to happen, especially with how people are getting canceled and stuff. But I don't think I do anything bad enough to where that would happen.
Right. What do you think about Andrew Tate?
Oh, okay. Now you're trying to make a little hit piece on. No, I'm just kidding. But
because there's a special connection here between you two, I think.
I like Andrew Tate. I think he says a lot of very crazy things, but I think he also does a very good job at inspiring the younger generation to not be lazy and actually grind. And I recently got an Andrew Tate tattoo on my leg.
I'm gonna pop it on the screen. Boom.
And I saw this on I think it was your Instagram. Yeah. I thought it was fake immediately. I immediately thought it was for the views.
I mean, it was for the views.
Right.
It doesn't say Andrew Tate. It says Top G, right?
Yeah.
Top G.
So why would you ever get that?
So I was in Florida for a YouTube convention, and I was making a video on asking 100 YouTubers how much they make, or I think that was the premise of the video. And I was with my friends at this Airbnb. We were maybe having a couple drinks, and they're like, and I was like, you know what? I want to get Top G on my leg. I think I came up with the idea, and they're like, ha, dude, that's so funny. And dude, you could do it for your video. And I was like, okay, screw it. And then we just went to a tattoo shop the next morning and just got that done.
So, okay. So they had the idea when you're a little drunk, maybe.
Yeah.
Right? You woke up the next day and still did it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
That's the craziest part of the thing. You woke up.
Yeah.
You woke up. You still did it.
Yeah,
That's a good idea.
You guys were probably expecting me to do it while I was drunk. No.
That's what
I made a completely clear-headed decision. I thought it would be funny for the video. Not worth it, because that video, I mean, if you look on my channel, I think it's one of my least viewed videos. It sucks. Wow. I think it got 30, I mean, not horrible, but it got 30,000 views. And it's if you're going to get a tattoo, come on, bro.
Right. Yeah, something permanent like that. That's crazy.
But
How much does the tattoo cost?
$100.
Damn.
That's fair.
The people were laughing at the tattoo shop, and I was they're this one chick that worked there was like, Andrew Tate, ew, I'm not doing that. And then I had to work with this other guy. She did not want to do the tattoo.
Wow.
That's so funny.
That's crazy.
So, lesson out there, maybe don't get a tattoo for the views.
I don't think it's worth it, but it's on my leg, and I mean, whatever. I got a previous tattoo for a video, so it's right next to it. I have a little shit leg going right now.
What was the other tattoo for?
It was a money sign. I think it was a bet. It was back when I did a video, but you know the YouTuber boxing matches?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I used to do this whole series on TikTok where I would gamble on these fights.
Really?
And I did a little bet with my friend, and it was the loser, if Austin McBroom beat Bryce Hall, then I had to get a tattoo. If Bryce Hall beat Austin McBroom, he had to get a tattoo. So we did a bet, and I ended up losing, and I had to get a tattoo, and I just got a money sign on my leg.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think, with stuff that's permanent like that, that's yeah. I wouldn't for $100 for a tattoo. I don't know if what the standard is, but I'd invest just a lot of money into my stuff.
Yeah.
But,
you got a nice little half sleeve going.
Yeah. Bro, my tattoos cost more than my car. So,
I mean, it's more permanent than your car, so I don't think that's necessarily a bad thing.
Exactly.
Hey, I respect the commitment for the views, though. I do. All right, you got to give it up to
dude. Yeah, I go all out for every video. I'm gonna do whatever it takes to make banger content. And that's why I think I can have a 10, 20-year career on YouTube.
For sure.
100%. Yeah, I think that's what separates the successful and the unsuccessful is like people who are willing to give whatever it takes.
Yeah, like I have friends who are like, bro, YouTube shadow banning me. It's like, no, they're not shadow banning you, bro. You've made the same content for 6 years, and people are getting sick of it. Like, that's
you're not shadow banned. You suck.
I hate when people say that. It's like, no, your content's ass. That's why you're not getting views.
Yeah, I think like in the age of like cancellation though too, it's like you know some
there is some truth to it.
Yeah, there is some people that are actually getting like canceled, but I think it's only if you're saying like controversial ass shit. Like if you're not saying anything controversial, then it's like you're not.
And I will say I think TikTok is a little different than YouTube. I think TikTok's honestly a sketchy platform because like I've had times where it's like they just don't push stuff, especially when it's like an ad.
Yeah.
So it's like I think TikTok's a little more sketchy. YouTube, the chances of them shadow banning something or suppressing it, very low.
Yeah. I mean, I would like even on TikTok, like going back to that, like I would post and my videos would get like 0 views for like the first like 3-4 hours
because they hold it for review and then and then once it finally gets approved, it's like
doesn't do anything. Yeah, exactly.
I've had that.
So yeah, but
TikTok's a different beast, dude. I think the Chinese TikTok crap it's sketchy, bro.
Yeah, no, it's definitely sketchy as fuck. That's why I'm trying to like be more multi-platform, like be able to like.
So you're doing the pod.
Yep, doing the pod. YouTube coming out soon, so yeah, we're about to go crazy.
We're actually gonna film Dason's first YouTube video when I'm out here, so I'm excited for that.
Yep. We're gonna do some crazy shit.
We're gonna brainstorm a couple ideas and then.
Yeah, we already got a few in the some crazy shit that we're thinking about, but yeah, so we'll see what happens.
Hell yeah.
That. Do you feel like you would stay in the United States your entire life, or would you go out of country?
Okay, so this is actually a difficult. I don't know if you guys know this, but my mom is actually from Germany, and that's where my sister lives. Yeah, so I actually grew up speaking German at home.
Really?
So I speak 2 languages.
Really?
I told you that?
I did not know that shit.
Should I speak some German on the podcast?
Yeah, say like Hail Hitler. No.
No, I'm not Kanye West, bro. I'm not gonna do that.
Yeah, no, but like, what's like well, okay, I taught my dog like my dog a little bit of German, so I know like a little bit.
Kaffee?
Yeah, no, I don't know what the fuck that is.
Say, welcome to the How to Be Rich podcast.
Yeah.
Can you say that?
It's kind of the same thing.
Is it?
Yeah.
We're just like saying it in like the accent.
Danke, dass du zum Podcast gekommen hast. Like, thank you
That's
that
not
you came
the same
to the
thing, bro.
podcast.
That's a different language. He said it's the same thing.
Yeah.
Or like,
how do you like greet each other?
Hallo, wie geht's dir?
Okay, that's lit.
Yeah.
So you're actually like fluent?
Yeah, we
That's
speak
crazy.
German at home. Like, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Bro, I didn't know that.
So that's your dad
crazy.
as well, or just your mom?
So my dad lived in Germany for 8 years. So my dad speaks surprisingly really good German for like him being an American. And yeah, so I actually took German in high school because it was like an easy class.
Right, yeah.
Type deal.
Yeah.
You could just ace that shit.
Yeah, exactly.
They didn't even know. You just sat there.
Yeah. that's what I at first, the first German class I took, the teacher knew I spoke German at home. So like they were like a dick, but the second one I just played dumb.
Right.
And that's the way. You just got to be quiet and just ace everything.
Right.
Yeah.
Bro, what do you think about like Kanye West saying, "I love Hitler. I love."
Bro, I know. I thought that was
clip.
There's a lot of things that I love about Hitler.
So everyone like was saying like, "Oh, Kanye isn't crazy. Kanye isn't crazy." I think it's very hard to deny that there's not something going on with that recent podcast.
Right, yeah. At this point, I mean, it's just hard to say anything at this point.
Yeah, there's like a clip with Alex Jones. He's like, "No, you don't like Hitler. Just like he's like really trying to be like help
I
him
love
out."
Hitler. Yeah.
And then he's like, "No, I love Hitler." Like I'm like, "What?"
Yeah, shit's crazy. Bro.
And what do you think that is? Do you think he's just going balls to the wall now that he's canceled, or is it mental illness, or is it he's just brainwashed to a certain degree? What do you think that's stemming from?
I personally, I didn't think this before. I think it's mental illness.
For sure.
I think he's probably something's going on. Like he's down bad.
Yeah.
His supermodel ex-wife dumped him.
Right.
He's just down bad, and he's been kind of going crazier and crazier the last few years, and it's sad to see
Yeah,
a legend like that kind of ruin his reputation in some way.
Do you think there's any truth to the shit that he says?
Yeah, for sure.
Because
there's some truth to it.
In terms of what? In terms when you say the shit that he says, what shit are you
like that the Jews run like the music like companies and shit like that?
I mean, I'm not too involved in that, so like I can't like speak on it 100%, but I'm sure there's some truth to it. I just think saying how he said it, like I'm going DEFCON 3 or whatever on Jewish people, probably not the best way to handle it, but I don't know.
He definitely said it in like a Tate way. Like, like just
he said it in the
draw
way,
controversy, right?
Yeah,
Exactly.
he said it in the way that you get canceled. So yeah, I don't know. I think maybe there's some truth to it, but there's also, I don't know. There's white people that are terrible people like that too. I don't know.
Yeah, exactly.
Right. From all walks of life, you can be a bad business person, right?
Yeah.
But, you know, I think that certain communities have done well financially, and they've shared that across, you know, their community, and that's just how it happens.
Yeah, like Jewish people are great businessmen. That's something I've heard at least, that
100%.
they run banger businesses. So there's something to learn from them, I guess.
Yeah, we've talked about this on the last couple of podcasts, how it's kind of like more in the culture to like teach your children in the Jewish community about like financial literacy and
I think
stuff
that's
like
a good thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's also when they're doing business with something, right? Like they need a plumber, they need like a different company. They only go to Jewish businesses, right?
Really?
They would not like go into a business in real estate or like finance or anything like that, or a bank, if it wasn't someone in their community, right? So that's just like what they believe. It's like, if we're going to do something, it needs to be within our church, within our culture. And that's just how they built it up so much, you know? So
For sure.
Yeah, and it's the same thing with like Asian communities too. Like there's a statistic that the black dollar stays in the black community for like an hour, the white dollar stays in within like the white community for like 3 days, and then like the Asian dollar stays in the Asian community for like 2 weeks or some shit. Right. So it's like the same dollar is circulating. Like, oh, you go to the supermarket, you know, then the supermarket person uses it to buy from some Chinese, you know, manufacturer, then they use it, you know. It's like, that's crazy to me, like how that shit works.
They keep it in the community.
Yeah, it's like a little like tribe. So you're pretty big on YouTube. You got like what, 150,000 subs ish?
160,000.
Come on, man.
Come on, bro.
160.
My bad. Hey, do you get recognized in public ever?
Occasionally, I mean, it doesn't happen like every time I go out, but it'll happen like every couple weeks. Like I'll go out, meet someone. It's always a pretty good experience.
Yeah. Do you have any like interesting encounters?
Actually, yeah, now that I think about it, there's actually a funny one that actually happened like not too long ago. I think this is probably the most recent time, but I was at the Vegas airport and some guy spilled like coffee. I was like sitting at the gate like waiting for my plane to board. I still had like 20-30 minutes. And this guy like right in front of me, like sitting across from me, like spilled a bunch of coffee like on the ground. And I helped him get some napkins and like clean it up and everything. And it was just like a normal encounter. I helped him clean it up. And he texts me like the next day on Instagram, like DMs me, and he's like, yo, were you at the Vegas airport? Like, I was the guy who spilled the coffee. And I was like, it's kind of funny. I had a whole encounter with this dude. He didn't say anything, and then he DMs me the next day.
Right.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's kind of funny.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Like, there's probably like, I'm assuming like for every time that someone comes up to me, there's probably 2 people that recognize you but like don't say anything.
Yeah, we've talked about this before, right? I think it's probably more than 2 people. I think, especially for people you see on the internet, you're probably like, is that them? I'm not going to say anything. Because I feel like if I saw someone I didn't know personally, but I've seen them on the internet, I probably wouldn't say shit to them.
That's how I've been too.
Yeah.
Like, I saw Bryce Hall on the street in LA.
Was it really him?
Dude, 100,000%. It was definitely Bryce Hall. I was on Santa Monica Pier, or like in Santa Monica with my friend, and we were riding bird scooters, and I just drive past. I was like riding, and I just see Bryce Hall on the phone talking to someone on speaker, just walking, and I was like, that's so funny. Like you just see YouTubers like that in public. I didn't say anything to him that time. Another person we saw was the Kid Leroy.
Really?
In downtown on Rodeo Drive in LA.
Oh, really?
Okay.
Didn't go up to him either.
Gotcha.
Yeah, just like, so I guess that kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
But I also have seen like YouTubers and like gone up for a picture and stuff like that.
Right. Well, you're also in the club too, so it's a
Yeah.
little more acceptable, I feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. What about you? Have you ever had any interesting encounters?
I've been recognized like a couple times. Like I don't know about interesting bro, for the first time ever, I had a girl come up to me and say
really?
like, yeah, like I like your content, which is kind of interesting for me because my audience is like 3% male or some shit.
Yeah.
So it's like it's all dudes watching my shit and have like a chick come up. That's kind of weird.
It's funny. The first time I got recognized, it was a girl, but then I
Really?
never got recognized by a girl again.
Yeah.
It's I guess there's just not a lot of girls who watch financial content in general, which is kind of sad. But all the girls who make financial content blow the fuck up.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
Dude,
And
it's crazy.
I was going to ask you about that because you definitely make financial content, and obviously you're the financial wolf, right?
Mm-hmm.
But when you make content, do you think in terms of more entertainment side of it or more of like the value like driven side of it?
Probably more towards the entertainment side.
Sure.
I would say My videos are probably 70% entertainment, 30% value. Entertainment and motivation, 70%, 30% value. Just because, I don't know. I think there's a lot of value in just like telling people to keep going. Like I think
100%.
a lot of people can figure things out themselves if they're just motivated to keep trying. So
for
I
sure.
don't know.
Yeah, no, that's a good take. I would say I'm like the opposite, like maybe like 70% value, like 20% entertainment.
For sure.
Yeah, but no, that's actually really interesting to say that. Do you feel like you'd have time for a girlfriend in your current schedule of flying everywhere and doing all the things you do?
No, I don't think so.
Hell
Maybe
no.
once I settle down a little bit, honestly, I always say this, but like once I get my new apartment, I'm probably gonna chill and not travel as much for like a month or two at least.
Yeah.
And maybe then I'll look into like the Tinder vibes. You know, sometimes I get on Tinder. What's the paid Tinder subscription?
Oh Lord.
Oh, buy boosts.
no, I don't buy Boost. You fuck. No, I don't.
The
No,
premium.
Premium.
Yeah,
Yeah,
you
that's
get
what
on
I
the
get.
premium,
I
man.
get the
Nah,
unlimited.
bro, just buy some boosts.
No, I don't get the Boost. That's so cringe. But I think
Bro.
the unlimited swipes or the Hinge. What's the on Hinge? There's also the one you pay for an Hinge.
Buy some swipes.
I used to never pay for the premium subscription, but I was talking to this YouTuber. I don't know if you know him, Tyler Oliveira.
Never heard of him.
Nope.
Okay, but he lived in Austin. I hung out with him a couple times, and I was out with him one time, and he's like, "Bro, you gotta invest in Tinder Premium. Like, you gotta invest in it if you want to take
It's
it
an
serious."
investment.
Yeah, right. Like how he said investment. Right? That's not a purchase. It's investment.
It's an investment, bro.
Okay.
Yeah,
Because
bro.
it's a numbers game. So
It is a numbers game. I think
Right.
that's with a lot of things
fair.
too. Even like social media, it's a numbers game.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah, because I remember hearing a story about like this dude who was ugly as fuck, but he worked as like a barista at a Starbucks, and just every girl that would walk in, he would like be like, "Baby, you're beautiful," and then but he was ugly as fuck. But like one of the times, like he actually pulled just because
It's a numbers game.
if you do it, if
Okay, was it like a ugly chick or was it like a?
probably
Decent.
like a 6.
Hey,
Hey,
doesn't matter.
That's respectable.
It doesn't matter though.
Okay,
Yeah.
I think if it's like I don't want to get canceled, but I mean, if it's like a really ugly chick, like a 2 or 3, then it's like better off just not.
Self-respect at that point.
Yeah, like have some self-respect, have some standards.
Yeah.
I think.
Hopefully, right? I mean, hopefully.
Yeah.
You know,
Right.
people are down bad, but
Yeah,
It happens.
Got to do what you got to do. Yeah. So you've partnered with a lot of different content creators. Like I'm kind of the opposite. Like I don't really partner with people. You're like one of the only influencers who I've
Hey.
actually partnered with, just because
I'm happy.
yeah, your vibes are genuine. You're pretty authentic in person. But in partnering with all these other influencers, how would you say most of them stack up, on their social media versus how they actually are in person? Start with me too. Like, do you think my social media matches who I actually am as a person?
Starting with you, I would say you're very similar. Actually, you're very similar. I also think you do a good job at displaying your personality. I think a lot of people don't do that as well on social media. Like some of your videos, like you actually show you like your funny side, your humor, especially like back in the day when you did your like roasting people.
Yeah.
Like that was like you always do a good job of like displaying your personality. I thought, you're a good guy. I actually like hanging out with you.
For sure.
But there's been other people where like, for example, like I'm not gonna name any names.
Call
but
them
there's-
out.
No, actually.
Call 'em up. Hey, hey,
No. Okay, but there's like, for example, there's one person. He's a little cocky on the internet, and I thought, when I filmed with him in person,
Yeah.
wouldn't be cocky whatsoever.
Right.
I thought it was kind of an act, right? I meet up with him, dude's the exact same. So sometimes people are different. Usually not in a bad way, but like some people are just more chill in real life than they are on the internet.
Yeah.
And then there's people who I think they're going to be a lot different in real life than they are on the internet because I think it's an act. And then they're the same way. And I'm like, what? Like, I'm kind of surprised. Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy just to have that kind of different perspective being in the space versus like people, because you really don't know. Like some
Yeah.
people
Right.
can put on a whole facade on the internet and then be a completely different way in person.
Yeah, I think that's probably few and like there's not like people aren't as bad as you think, I'd say. But there's definitely the occasional person who like they act like a great person on the internet and then in real life they're just not cool at all.
Yeah.
Or there's some people who act like dicks on the internet and then they're actually dicks in real life too. Or the opposite. Some people act like dicks on the internet and then they're great people in real life.
Right.
Right.
So it
what
just depends.
What do you think is the most efficient way to get views, right? Because right now controversy, and like being blatantly kind of crazy sometimes draws the most attention and draws the most clicks. Do you think that's the way to go, or do you think to prolong your career, it's better to be kind of more modest and just grow like humbly?
Yeah, I think honestly, slow and steady is usually the vibe. Like usually what comes up really quick can come down really quick. So just like being genuine and like having a personality that you can actually like stick with on the internet, like be as close as possible on the internet as you are in real life. Like how I like to say it is like maybe be who you are on the internet times 2 or 3. So like maybe be a little bit more like outgoing on the internet maybe than you are in real life. Because that just obviously helps with being more interesting.
Yep.
But yeah, I would say it's yeah. Don't be crazy just for views because it's hard to sustain that.
Sure.
For sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Definitely.
What's next on the investing scale? Do you think you would buy some real estate or get invested in anything?
Well, now that I'm moving back to the Midwest, I can actually afford the real estate because in Austin, houses are like $500,000-$600,000 for like not that nice of a house.
In Austin, Texas?
Yeah, we're talking like
I've seen some like mansions in Texas for like
Oh,
400K or
so
some
you're
shit.
seeing, you're not talking like Austin's the most expensive area, I think.
Right.
Okay.
And it
Or-
recently just blew up with
Yeah.
everyone that was moving there from LA and New York and stuff.
Yeah,
with
so
COVID,
it's just it's insane there. Whereas like my parents, where they live, like Milwaukee, kind of where they're at, like I'm looking at investing there. I could get like similar to your place. I could probably get like a $200,000
Yep.
duplex that would cash
Yeah.
flow well. Midwest is great for like cash flowing real estate.
For sure.
Probably not as good for appreciation, but
sure.
that's probably where I'm looking to invest. And hopefully next year we'll secure property. Probably won't live in that property, but kind of like you're doing, just rent it out, live somewhere else.
Yeah.
Because Wisconsin is the duplex capital of the world.
Wait, really?
Right. There's more duplexes built in Wisconsin per capita. I'm pretty sure you can check this, but there's a lot built there for no reason. People don't really know why, I guess, but that's just what they decided to do.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
So, hey, maybe I'll cop a duplex in Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Maybe in the hood, and then I can make some, like,
Oh,
banger
yeah.
videos. Like, tenant smokes crack in my unit. Gone wrong.
Evicting tenant. Shootout happens.
Yeah,
right?
shootout gone wrong.
Yeah.
Bro,
In the hood. You can put an in the hood video.
that's
Bro.
the content I need.
Have
Like,
you ever seen like those videos where it's like in the hood and like they'll go up and be like, "Hey, bro, you want a slice?" And then it's like they pull out like a slice of pizza.
Dumbest videos ever, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like
Listen.
quickest way to die.
I'm pretty
literally.
sure this video is fake, but Roman Atwood did a video where he went to the hood and he goes to people and he's like, "What's up, my neighbor?" And they thought he said something else. And
Yeah.
they're like, "What'd you just say?" And then they like try to like fight him and stuff.
Yeah, bro. Like there's levels to go. Like where people go for content. It's like,
Yeah.
bro. Yeah.
Yeah. Dude, it's crazy.
So getting back into it, we got refreshment on the drinks there. But,
Okay.
Obviously, you're a YouTuber, right? You do that full time. How much you get paid per view or per 1,000 views or whatever? And then what do you make a month, right? What's your average year looking like or month?
Okay, so that's a good question. I think it really depends on like ad rates. So I would say about 30% of my income comes from the ads that are played on my YouTube videos. So that's like, the pre-roll ads, mid-roll ads. YouTube in the finance niche, obviously it depends on the time of year and when, but I'm usually getting between $12 and $15 per 1,000 views on a video. So a video gets 100,000 views, that's $1,200 to $1,500. Obviously it depends. I've had videos that get 100,000 views and make $400, and I've had videos get 100,000 views and make $3,000. It really just depends because ad rates are different, but it averages out $12 to $15 per 1,000 views. And in a month, lately it's been pretty good since I've expanded, not just doing ad revenue, but also sponsorships, affiliates, and then like also the, eventually the Turo Business and stuff.
Yeah.
So I'd say in a month I'm making $15,000 to $20,000
Awesome.
a month.
That's really good.
Uh,
What's your most money you made from one YouTube video?
Actually, it's funny. My most highest earning video is not my most viewed video. So my highest earning YouTube video ever only has 300,000 views, but it made like $31,000.
Really?
Damn.
Jesus.
From one video, and it was a video that honestly I filmed in one day.
Damn. So 30K in one day on YouTube, right? That's insane.
I know. It's kind of funny, like, and it's not even that the video got that many views. It just has a very high ad rate.
Sure. And that's interesting too, because when you look at the TikTok algorithm, right, it's mostly pushing it to people who don't follow you. Is that the same for YouTube, or is it mostly like you need a good following to get a lot of views, or can any video go viral?
Any video can go viral. It's similar to TikTok. It doesn't have quite the organic reach. Like TikTok is crazy, but
Sure.
just looking at, my views, I would say it'll tell me 81% of my watch time is from non-subscribers.
Okay.
And 19% is from subscribers.
Interesting.
So most of the people watching my videos are not subscribed to me.
Very
Interesting.
It's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's good. That means you're growing, you're reaching new people.
Exactly.
Most of your audience isn't going to watch your content.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's kind of crazy, like the monetization on YouTube versus TikTok, because like per 1,000 views you get like 8 cents on TikTok, like max.
I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, I think my creator fund I've made like $2,000 like all time.
Yeah, bro, I got demonetized.
Wait, really? Why?
Yeah. I think I posted like a thing like a while ago. I was like, I like Andrew Tate, and then I was like, I tried to like expose some people again or some shit.
Oh no.
Right.
Yeah, no, I wasn't even exposing. I was talking about like CMOS or some shit, and like literally they took that shit down. And I was like, wow, yeah.
I mean, they took away your barely any pay.
yeah, I was like, okay, yeah, what am I gonna lose
Yeah.
like $500? Okay, whatever.
It doesn't really matter.
At that point.
Yeah, but
Hell yeah.
Gotcha.
cool. Thank you everyone for tuning in to the How to Be Rich podcast, rich in health, wealth, and everything else. Thanks, Will, for hopping on again.
Of course. Thanks for having me. I'll probably be on in the future. Who knows?
Yeah, we're definitely gonna
Hopefully.
keep doing update podcasts and videos and stuff like that. So yeah,
Of course, I'm excited. If you guys enjoyed, drop a like. Let's see if we can hit 500 likes on this podcast.
yeah, 500.
Let's run it.
Cool.
For sure.
All right, we're out.
Peace.